I think we have to start. What, Miss Elephant?
Yeah, we will.
Mm,
Yes, yes. We're going to start now.
yeah. Who is the first presenter? Was it Group Four?
We will ask first the mayor, who is going to lead us in prayer.
Yes.
Morning, CIs. I will be the one who will read the prayer.
Okay, Charis. So we will start now, Charis, with with a prayer.
In the name of the Father,
Father, Son, Holy
the Holy
Spirit. Amen.
Lord, thank you for the wonderful day that you have given to us. Thank you for the gift of life, gift of friends, gift of family, gift of loved ones, and thank you for all the blessings that you have showered upon us. And may you always guide us with our everyday lives and keep us away from harm, especially amidst the pandemic. Altogether, let us pray. I will continue, oh my
I will
God, to do
continue
all
to God to the Almighty
for the
for
love
the
of
love.
God. Saint John Baptist de la Salle,
Pray for
Pray
us
for us
we have Jesus in our hearts forever.
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 In the name of God.
Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Amen.
Good morning, Miss. Start na naman ang amon report for Group 4.
Group 4 will be the first presenter.
Yes, Miss.
Who is the second? May I know first so that
G-
we
group
will be guided.
Group 1, Miss.
Group
Then followed
4.
by Group 2 and 3.
And yeah.
Okay, thank you. So, Gina, my group. Gina Jami. So, you are already what? You were oriented already on how to present, no? Pila gani ka minutes, allowable ta?
20 minutes, Miss. Then 10 minutes for the question and answer, Miss.
So, we will have all of you to present, okay? So, we will have group 4, then followed by group, ano ka ito?
Group Two.
Group
Yeah.
2.
Yeah. No. Followed by Group
One.
One, then Group Two, then Group Three.
Or
Last.
1. All right, so let's start now, Miss Jami.
Yeah.
Wait, Miss. The screen is...
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so good morning, classmates, and good morning, CIs. We're the Group 4, and we're gonna present our family case presentation. So, the promotion and preservation of the health of its client is the primary goal of community health nursing. It aims to provide primary health services for all individuals of the community, which is a response to the various healthcare needs of the people. This does not only focus on the family alone, but the community in general. Barangay Granada is a constituent barangay of Bacolod City, which is located in the easternmost part of the city. This is the chosen barangay of PSN2A, specifically Zone 2, Hacienda Carmen. The residents extend their hospitality by welcoming both teachers and students into their homes during weeks of exposure. Mrs. Amigo and her family live along several sugar fields. Due to the implementation of community health nursing, a student a student nurse from the University of St. LaSalle was assigned to Mrs. Amigo's family to help them with their family health problems and to provide them with enough knowledge and lead them to wellness through nursing health interventions. One of the goals of community health nursing is conducting a family case study from the health assessment. This is in lieu of the nursing process systematically carried out by the student nurse. In this way, Mrs. Amigo and her family will be informed by their immediate health problems and create a possible and effective solution for their family's welfare. So for the next slides, we will discuss these nursing health interventions and how we aim to incorporate it to Mrs. Amigo and her family's lifestyle.
So we
For the
have the
objective,
objectives.
Jami?
We can't hear it.
Jami?
Wait, miss, kay
Reporter
ang
Miss
ang
disconnect.
reporter disconnect kay
Jami
gidita
left,
lang
Miss
miss.
Pakingking left the room.
Yes, miss, she's supposed to be our
The
reporter for
next,
this live, miss. Wait lang, get ano lang naman kay ga data lang sa kanila.
Yeah.
so
And
maybe somebody can take over na lang siguro so that we will not be wasting time.
this has to be recorded class, ha?
Okay,
Miss
miss,
Cherry.
Okay, miss. Ako
I'll
na lang,
just
miss.
okay, si Raven na lang, miss.
Okay.
Moving on to the objectives, we have the nurse-centered objectives for the general. After 2 weeks of case presentation, the student nurses will be able to formulate the family coping index based on the identified problems, compose a nursing care plan in accordance to the prioritized health problems, construct a health teaching plan to improve families' health status through appropriate interventions. For specific, after 30 minutes of case presentation, the student nurses will be able to thoroughly assess the family's health status through interview using the worksheet C, identify the family's problems such as health and environmental risk, implement family-centered intervention to improve the quality of life of the family, and evaluate the changes in health condition and current family health practices. Moving on to the client-centered objective. Client-centered objectives for the general. After 2 weeks of family case study, the client will be able to revise their drinking habit through gradual withdrawal, adapt to proper practice of waste management, and follow the appropriate meal plan for their diet. For specific, after 30 minutes of family case study, the client will be able to express their opinions regarding excessive drinking, verbalize their perceived knowledge about what proper waste management is, and devise an effective and healthier diet to counter malnutrition. Now we will move on to the narrative report.
For the family structure and characteristics, the family is considered as an extended type of family. One grandparent is currently living with a married couple and their 5 children. Andrea and Richie Amigos' 5 children are biologically related to them, and Linda, Andrea's mother, is the only extended family member living with them. Andrea Amigos' educational attainment is third year high school, while Richie, on the other hand, is first year high school. Andrea's mother is an elementary graduate, and their 5 children, only Francis and Earl, are currently enrolled. Mavis, Richie Jr. and Geraldine are always left at home with Andrea and Linda. The family is residing in Zone 2, Hacienda Carmen, Barangay Granada, Bacolod City. The married couple settled there permanently after they got married. Whenever a problem arises, they are not always quick to discuss matters regarding the problem because they have too many responsibilities to attend to. Andrea is concerned with the family's compliance and access to basic needs, but there are times that their budget could only afford the bare minimum of this. She stated that she could not monitor every family member's health because she is always busy breastfeeding her 11-month-old baby. Andrea Amigo is usually the one who is making decisions for the family because her husband is always at work.
So next we move on to the socioeconomic factors as well as the cultural factors. Mrs. Andrea Amigo is a plain housewife and Mr. Richie Amigo has no permanent work. They live together with their 5 children and Mrs. Amigo's mother. Mrs. Amigo was able to finish third year high school, Mr. Amigo was able to finish first year high school, and Mrs. Amigo's mother was able to finish elementary level. 2 out of their 5 children are currently in elementary, Francis, who is in grade 1, and Earl, who is in preschool. Mr. Amigo works as cargo capaz, a farmer, a helper of carpentry, or any available odd jobs. The Amigo family's monthly income ranges from 4,000 pesos to 6,000 pesos, since it varies depending on Mr. Amigo's work for the week. Budget allocation is 4,000 pesos on food, 300 pesos on electricity, 200 pesos on water, 500 pesos on Mr. Amigo's vices, 500 pesos on the medicines of Andrea's mother, and 500 pesos on the savings for the emergency needs. The Amigo family is Roman Catholic, but they don't participate in any religious activities. Furthermore, they do not have an ethnic background. They usually experience minor diseases like colds, cough, fever, diarrhea, and vomiting. Besides using over-the-counter drugs, they also make use of some of the country's medicinal plants. They make use of balsam for the baby, manzanilla or alcanforado, tawa-tawa, lagundi, and pito-pito. They also used to go to helots. They prefer going to the herbolario when they get sick. The community they live in is peaceful with minor incidents which can be resolved by the barangay officials, specifically the purok president and the barangay captain. The community also has a basketball court and nursery school. The barangay health worker sometimes visits their place to relay information or announcements on the health-related issues. Next slide. Thank you.
So now I will be talking about the environmental factors of our narrative report. So Zone 2 Hacienda Carmen is a privately owned property which has a population of more than 100 households. Andrea Amigo lives in Purok Santo Niño specifically with her husband and her 5 children. They live in a semi-concrete house which was built by her husband. Andrea's mother is also living with them. She is a 66-year-old widow. Her mother has had bronchial asthma and has previously been admitted in the regional hospital in the city because of pneumonia. They use spring water for washing clothes or even for drinking, but sometimes they buy purified water if they have extra money. They dispose their garbage in streams or burn it in their backyards. Next slide, please.
Now I will be presenting the health assessment of each member. Andrea's mother was diagnosed with bronchial asthma and pneumonia a year ago. Apart from, Andrea's father died due to pulmonary tuberculosis. Their family gets sick twice a year and takes over-the-counter medicine or herbal plants if symptoms are not yet worse. The anthropometric data of the children are as follows. First, Francis has a weight of 16 kilogram, height of 100 centimeter, and mid-upper arm circumference of 17 centimeter. Followed by Earl, the weight is 14 kilogram, height is 102 centimeter, and mid-upper arm circumference, which is 16.5 centimeter. Next is Mavis, weight is 12 kilogram, the height is 97 centimeter, and mid-upper arm circumference is 15.5 centimeter. Richie Jr. has a weight of 7.9 kilogram, height of 72 centimeter, and mid-upper arm circumference, which is 15 centimeter. So lastly, Geraldine has a height of 7.9 kilogram. The height is 72 cm, and the mid-upper arm circumference is 14 centimeter. Their family eats 3 meals a day and usually consumes sardines, fish, pork, and vegetable which comes from their farm. Besides, she buys biscuits or breads for her children's snacks. Currently, aside from the grandmother's bronchial asthma, Andrea's children are very thin, underweight, and look malnourished wherein their condition is being neglected. For the next slide, we have Jazel Nicolas.
So now I'll be talking about the values placed on prevention of diseases. The 4 children have completed immunization through the healthcare center, except for the youngest who is about to receive her measles immunization. During rainy days, there are a lot of mosquitoes around the area and they use mosquito repellents, but not all the time because Mrs. Amigo's mother is allergic to it and she has asthma. She goes to the healthcare center for nebulization using salbutamol. The family rarely goes to the health center for checkup. They only seek consultation if symptoms worsen, and their healthy lifestyle practice is mostly doing household chores as a form of exercise. They also like watching telenovelas on TV in their neighbor's house for relaxation and stress management activities. Next slide, please.
So this is the family care plan that was formulated by the student nurses. Before the family care plan was made, cues were observed from the family. So the subjective cues was the first, the client verbalized, ang kita sang akon bana gatipende sa iya obra kada semana. Masami kadalagan halin 4,000 pesos hasta 6,000 pesos ang kada bulan. The client also verbalized that ang amon mga sakit masami nga maeksperiensya mga minor lang man parehas ang ubo, hilanat, sipon, lupot kag palanuka. The client also verbalized that talagsa sa Malacca lang kami gakadto sa health center para sa check-up. Adto lang kami to kung wala na gid ang amon ginabatsyag. For the objective cues, next slide please. The student nurses observed that the children are very thin and underweight, look malnourished and neglected. The anthropometric data that was measured from the children are as follows. So Francis weighed 16 kilograms and his height is 105 centimeter and his middle upper arm circumference is 17 centimeter. Earl weighed 14 kilograms and his height is 102 centimeters. His middle upper arm circumference is 16.5 centimeters. Mavis's weight 12 kilograms and his height is 97 centimeter. His middle upper arm circumference is 15.5. Geraldine weighed 7.9 kilograms with a height of 72 centimeter and middle upper arm circumference 14 centimeter. Richie Jr. weighed 7.9 kilograms with a height of 72 centimeters and mid upper arm circumference is 15 centimeter. So the strength of the family was that they had the initiative to avail of the immunizations from the health center for their four children, and they have organized day-to-day routine activities with fair delegation of roles and responsibilities of the family. However, their weaknesses is that they have financial incapacity and lack of family support. Then it was established that their health problem was malnutrition, which is they have children who are underweight. The family nursing problem that the student nurses identified is that they have poor overall well-being and presence of malnutrition in dependent members of the family due to first, inability to decide about taking appropriate action due to failure to comprehend the nature, magnitude, and scope of the problem. Second, inability of the family to recognize the possible risks and consequences of malnutrition in vulnerable member in the family. Third is the lack of knowledge of the parents on proper diet and nutrition needed by the children. And fourth is the insufficient knowledge about the disease and health condition present within the family.
Continuation of the family care plan. We have the goals of care. After 2 days of nursing intervention, the client will be able to recognize healthy lifestyle changes and perform necessary practices learned to improve the nutritional status of the family. As for the objective of care, after 2 days of nursing intervention, the client will be able to number one, verbalize the importance of adequate food intake. Number two, identify the different foods needed for a healthy diet. Number three, find ways to prepare and apply these different foods into their daily diet. And number four, practice a healthy routine that includes daily physical activities, regular checkups, and correct lifestyle for the family. As for our nursing intervention, conduct a discussion regarding the importance behind adequate food intake towards the overall health of the client. Provide a list that indicates which food should be included in their diet or is deemed essential in combating their current condition. Demonstrate doable ways of preparing the necessary foods needed for their current condition, as well as the proper sanitation and preparation for the food. Devise lifestyle changes and schedules for checkups suitable for the health promotion of the client without any disruption of activities of daily living. Now, moving on to the evaluation of our family care plan.
So, for the evaluation of family care plan, after 2 days of nursing interventions, the client will be able to first goal met is to recognize healthy lifestyle changes as evidenced by the mother verbalizing the importance of adequate food intake to improve nutritional status of the family. The mother verbalized, subong nakabalo ko sang importansya sang insakto nga pagkaon. Amo ni siya ang rason nga akon mga bata malasakiton kagamay mga lawas. Kay sala akon paghatag sang nutrisyon nga ila ginakaon. She added, abi ko niwang sila kay palahampang sila sa dalan, kag kisa wala sila gana magkaon o kung jutay lang sila magkaon. Pero may ginabatsyag na sila gali sa kakulangon sa nutrisyon sa ilalawas. For the second goal met is to perform necessary practices learned as evidence by the mother identifying the different foods needed for a healthy diet to achieve a desirable body weight of the family. The mother verbalized, dako gid nga bulig ang paghatag sa akon sa mga pagkaon nga dapat baklon sa merkado. Subong kabalo nako sa akong pilion o kung masustansya ayhan akong ginhatag sa akong nga pamilya. Next slide please. The third goal met is to prepare the essential foods incorporating excuse, it into their daily diet, making sure it is suitable and convenient in their current condition as evidenced by the mother demonstrating the proper sanitation and preparation of the food. The mother verbalized, amo ni galing nga mga pagkaon nga makahatag insakto na nutrisyon sa akon mga bata. Sigurado gid nga mapalayo sila sa masakit kung kakaon sila sa insakto. She added, bisan wala permanentong nga obra asawa ko, mangita gid ko paagi para makakaon sa insakto mga kabataan ko. And for the last goal met is to practice a healthy routine of exercising, regular checkups, and a healthier lifestyle as evidenced by the mother taking part in devising their lifestyle and scheduling a health check-up for their children. The mother verbalized, wala ginagsulod sa ulo ko nga dapat maka-check up mga kabataan ko kay makadto man lang kami na sa health center kung malalain na gid ang pamatchak sa mga bata ko. Kabalogid ko nga hindi apos magistorya sa asawa ko pero ang balan ko gid na siya nga kilala niya magundat panigarilyo hindi gid manami para siya lawas kag sa amon diri sa balay. Now let's proceed to the recommendation.
For the recommendation, it is boiled down to three basic points. For the family, all we could recommend is that one, they prioritize nutrition, two, they maintain a clean environment, and three, they avoid alcohol use as much as possible. They state that they cannot prioritize the nutrition of their children because they have a lack of money, but by doing so they could lead to further complications of them getting hospitalized, them getting needing medicines which would cost more than actually just feeding them correctly. And also by feeding them correctly, you can ensure that they have a better growth for the future psychologically and physically. For the second point of maintaining a clean environment, that doesn't just mean getting all the garbage from your house and then putting it somewhere else. It also means on how they dispose it. Burning of garbage isn't good because that could release toxic fumes, and the smoke in general is just bad for people's health, especially for the grandmother who has lung or known lung problems. And burning and burying the trash could lead to other problems, seeing how the children are able to play outside unattended, so they might get cuts if there was something hard or like broken glass that they just buried and then the kids dug it up and then they got wounds. And then for my main recommendation, I think, or for personally, it's the alcohol use. Seeing how the father claims to spend only 500 pesos for alcohol and cigarette use, and they can barely spend for their children's nutrition, and they say that they only have 500 pesos for their children's emergency needs. Avoiding alcohol could either double that, which if we're basing on what the father says the main spending for alcohol is, but we all know that spending for alcohol and cigarettes could easily go above 500, especially if you do it daily. So these are the three main points. These are one, to prevent developing health complications, and two, it is also saving the money, and most importantly, it is improving their quality of life. Thank you.
Okay, so next presenter, please prepare. We will give our comments, recommendation later. Okay. Welcome, Miss Vilia.
Good morning. Mami Fe, we cannot hear you. Muted ka, Mami Fe.
As what I have said a while ago, we are just done with group 4. The presentation was comprehensive enough, but later on we will have some add-on to what we have found out in the presentation. And right now, group 1 is going to present. Can I just
Good morning, BN2A and panel of judges. We are the Group 1 here to present our family case study on poor hygienic care. Community is a collection of people who interact with one another and whose common interests or characteristics form the basis for a sense of unity or belonging. Allender 2009. The family, being the smallest unit of the society and the natural fundamental core of the community, is considered as the primordial recipient of the nursing effort. Community health nursing serves as a means of improving the skills of student nurses through community exposure and first-hand experience with their assigned clients in the community. Conducting a family case study is one of the leading goals in family nursing practice. Barangay Granada, Bacolod City is the chosen community of BSN2A, specifically Zone 2 Hacienda Kerman. The residents of the area accommodated the student nurses into their homes for a number of days during the exposure weeks. Next slide, please. Among the members, Torres family, a nuclear type of family living in a poor environmental condition without enough resources and lacks knowledge on vital health information and poor hygiene-related problems, was chosen to be the subject of the conducted family case study. Mrs. Torres's family was provided with a student nurse to help them towards health and wellness through nursing interventions. In this way, they are informed of their health problems and involved in the interventions made by the student nurse in uplifting the living condition for their welfare. This family case study is beneficial for Mrs. Torres and her family in addressing their family health problem with regard to poor hygiene and sanitation and offering healthcare services for health promotion and disease prevention.
For the nurse-centered general objectives, the student nurses will be able to organize an appropriate systematic approach to meet the health needs of the family through the use of the family health nursing process, demonstrate critical thinking skills and cultural awareness essential to giving safe and effective family-centered care, and develop rapport for a better working environment that is conducive towards the family's health. For the specific objectives, devise a comprehensive interview and thorough assessment about the family, the environment, and their practices. Recognize potential health problems that may arise and may need utmost plan of care based on client and family scoping index. Conduct a health teaching relevant to the identified health problem by utilizing visual aids such as posters, and assess the effectiveness of the plan of care whether the expected outcomes are met. For the client-centered general objectives, the family client will be able to demonstrate understanding in adhering to the plan of care, verbalize complete information in answering the comprehensive interview, and reach out through involvement in choices relating to the family's health. For the specific objectives, identify family health problem that needs utmost attention, express family concerns pertinent to their health, and lastly, apply the health teaching taught to them by the student nurses by actively executing the plan of care.
Narrative report
family structure and characteristics. Torres family. Elmer Torres, the father, 36 years old. Source of income, hacienda laborer. Highest educational attainment, elementary graduate. Marisa Torres, 33 years old. Source of income, hacienda laborer and also laundry service. Highest educational attainment, second year high school. Edison Torres, 15 years old. Highest educational attainment, grade 9. Alisa Torres, age 13 years old. Highest educational attainment, grade 7. Eric Torres, 8 years old. Highest educational attainment, grade 2. Family type composition, nuclear, type of descent, patrilinear, category of residence, neolocal, and locus of authority is equalitarian. Socioeconomic and cultural factors, monthly expenses of family Torres is 3,000 composed of food, utilities, and miscellaneous. Monthly income is range to 4,000 to 5,000 pesos. Family and community. The family has pure Filipino blood and can speak Hiligaynon, Filipino, and a little bit of English language. They are devoted to one religion, which is Roman Catholic, and they go to church every Sunday. Community is generally peaceful and very seldom conflicts occur in the area. They have a good relationship with their neighbors as they are known for their kindness and hospitality towards others.
For the environmental factors, the family's house can be found in Hacienda Carmen in Granada. The type of housing is a detached, single-family home made of lightweight wood materials and it is congested for 5 people. Even if the house is small and contains only one room for everything, the wife is able to maintain its cleanliness and tidiness. The, hou- the house is mainly made of wood with some nails or wires unsecured and the floor is made up of soil. The room serves as their living room, dining room, kitchen, and bedroom. They sleep in one bed and make use of mosquito nets to protect them from insect bites. Barangay Granada experiences dry and wet seasons just like the rest of the country, so the family goes to school-covered courts in cases of typhoons and flood. In drug in cases of drug addictions, on the other hand, they go to their barangay captain or their landowners to report such cases. A barangay health station is available in the community. For the health assessment of each member, the children of the household occasionally experiences medical conditions such as colds, fever, cough, stomach ache, and diarrhea. For minor ailments, they seek the services of a traditional healer or manugluya. Marisa gave birth at the lying-in center within the city. The family is able to eat 3 times a day and their meal consists of rice and viand, either fish, meat, or vegetables, and vegetable soup. Eric is a picky eater and prefers to eat junk food and noodles. He has a large abdomen which is not proportioned to his body. The family has a knowledge deficit when it comes to the importance of proper personal hygiene as they manifest unclean nails, clothes, and some kind of body odor.
The current health status, the group notes rashes and skin lesions were seen among the arms, back, and legs of the children. Nails of client and children were dirty and opaque. The children's hair was unkempt and dry in texture and was infested with lice. Plague was observed in all the children's teeth and lips are cracked with evidence of mouth sores. Their viand usually contain vegetables from their vegetable garden. Adequate sleep, approximately 8 hours a day as early as 9 p.m., and the parents start their day at 5 a.m. in the morning. The household doesn't follow any exercises plan, and considers their daily routine of working.
Values based on prevention of diseases. The children of the family has received up-to-date immunizations from the Barangay Health Center. These vaccinations are the following: BCG, first and second dose of Hep B, diphtheria, tetanus, pertussis, first and second dose of immunization for pneumonia, first and second dose of immunization for meningitis, OPV, and MMR. In times of serious ailments, they proceed to the Barangay Health Center for either treatment or to take a referral slip for them to bring to the San Miguel Brewery Clinic, where consultation and medications, if available, are given for free. They seek traditional healers, manugluya, to treat or relieve minor ailments such as muscle pain or otherwise known as kibit. The household doesn't follow any exercise plan and considers their daily routine of working and doing household chores as exercise to move their joints.
On to the problems according to priority. The problem is poor hygienic care, as manifested by the children and mother in the family belongs to the health threat category as it shows conditions conducive to disease and a failure to realize one's health potential. It is easily modifiable with the help of health teaching and demonstration as a knowledge deficit of the family regarding the importance of personal hygiene would be recalled as something that needs to be done religiously, as it will not only benefit oneself but also the whole family. Additionally, repetitive hygienic practices such as reminders to wash hands before eating would drastically improve the overall health of the household. Next. Its preventive potential is classified as high because they have an available source of water and sealed storage for food. The right attitude and manner in doing the teachings done would keep the family healthy, especially if they follow the given visual aids for reference. Lastly, in terms of seriousness and urgency or salience, it is seen as a problem but not needing immediate attention because personal habits require the family the time to adapt and readjust their perception regarding what benefits personal hygiene brings. To add to this, poor personal hygiene does not necessarily bring about the onset of health complications immediately, and it depends on the family's immunity to such. However, it is still a potential precipitating factor in that context, making it a problem.
Family care plan for the subjective cues. The client verbalize, si Eric hindi kabalo manghugas kamot kag tiil labi na gid duta lang sa log sang balay. Permihig ko ang mga kuko, wala mayo ga palaligo amo na ang mga panit ga kinatol na. Tiga ulo ang mga bata kay ginasaway kag hambalan man sila na maninlo kag lugod pero mamubo lang tubig ka isa. Next please. For the objective data cues, children's hair appeared to be dry and unkempt with instances of dandruff and lice found. Eric was observed to have dry dust and dirt on his face due to playing. Children's teeth are slightly yellowish with presence of dental cavities or plaque. Little to no mouth sores present. Skin appears to be dry, which is evident in all children as taking baths are not regularly practiced within the family. In addition, atopic dermatitis or eczema seems to have developed on the children's skin due to lack of skincare hygiene. Rashes and skin lesions observed in the arm, back, and leg of the children. Marisa and Elmer have crusted muddy hands as a result of sugarcane laboring. Children's nails are embedded with dirt, making it opaque. Eric appears to have callous and muddy feet as a result of walking barefoot indoors and outdoors. Unpleasant body odor is noted. Clothes have dirty stains on them. The children of the family, Edison, Eliza, and Eric, experience occasional medical conditions such as cough, fever, stomachache, and diarrhea. An unhygienic indoor and outdoor environment may be possible precipitating factor for causing these stated ailments.
Now for the strengths and weaknesses. For the strengths, strong familial support system as both parents provide for their family as well as establishing a strong bond with each family member. Parents prioritizes the well-being of each family member and acts accordingly to the severity of the ailment. As for the weaknesses, insufficient knowledge regarding personal hygiene, shares personal household materials such as drinking glasses, which may spread contaminants across the family members. Lack of financial income causes hindrance to approach certified medical professionals for treatment of serious illnesses and the sorts. Poor lifestyle habits such as the father, Elmer, consuming alcohol. Indoor environment would serve as a potential health hazard due to the presence of soil within the household, as this would harbor the existence of bacteria and viruses and infect the children who walk barefoot.
For the health problem, we classified poor hygienic care as a health threat. Family nursing problem is an ability to maintain a good personal hygiene which is conducive to health maintenance due to first inadequate knowledge of importance of personal hygiene, second ignorance of preventive measures, third inadequate family resources for care such as financial and physical resources, fourth is failure to see benefits, specifically long-term ones of investment in practicing hygienic care, and fifth is attitude or philosophy in life. Next, please. For the goals of care, after 2 weeks of nursing interventions, the client and family will be able to demonstrate the necessary measures to properly and adequately manage poor hygiene by gaining knowledge regarding its importance.
After 2 weeks of nursing interventions, the client and family will be able to develop understanding about the importance of proper hygiene in their activities of daily living. For the nursing interventions, first assess the degree of awareness of the client and the family with regard to hygienic care, then educate them of the importance of following proper hygiene for their health to avoid potential problems that could arise if not properly practiced. Evaluation: apply the necessary measures to successfully practice proper hygiene care by cooperating in the discussions during health teaching. This was made evident as she said, huo ang pagtinlo sa among lawas importante gid para makalikaw sa mga kagaw. She added that it includes hand washing, taking a bath, and oral care. Goldman. Next slide, please. Second, verbalize daily compliance and following the steps necessary to continue hygienic measures for the benefit of their overall health even without assistance. Nurse intervention. Second, perform the steps in hand washing, feet care, oral care, and overall body hygiene to educate the client and family of the correct notion when it comes to hygienic measures with the help of visual aids provided as a way of encouraging them to continue these hygienic measures without assistance. Evaluation: conform to the given practices regarding the care and maintenance of their bodies as provided in the four visual aids. This was made evident as the client verbalized, ay huo bala ka nami gid sa pagpakita sa demonstrasyon sa mga visual aids wala gid kaso akay ginasunod gini namon adlaw-adlaw kag makabulig ini sa amon kalawasan kag nga matiner lang kami sa ngigko. Si Eric kada gabi ako nagahugas ng tiilya amo man ang sa mga magulang Goldman.
For the third objective of care, recall the rationale of the importance of doing hand hygiene. Nursing intervention provide information on hand washing, definition, and rationale through conducting health teaching with the use of visual aid and such as poster. For the evaluation, the family list important notes on hand washing and show and how it helps saves lives despite its simplicity. This was made evident as the client verbalized, "Salamat gid sa pagbulig sa amon sa pagpaintindi kung paano maging mas epektibo ang paghugas ng kamot. Nadumduman ko gid nga dapat manghugas ang kamot para hindi magtinirang kagaw sa amon kamot. Kag para hindi ini maglapta sa amon pagkaon kag amon mga makaon." Goal met.
On to the last, list health problems that may possibly be an effect of poor personal hygiene. Our intervention would be discuss the possible health problems that could arise due to poor maintenance of the body. As for the evaluation, explain the existence of certain microorganisms that may hinder their capacity to achieve a healthy life, and such hindrances may be the root causes of potential health problems to arise within the family. This is made evident as the client verbalized, kabalo na ko daan nga may kagaw man gid nagahalin sa higgo kag ini makahatag sakit sa amon parehas na sa sakit sang tiyan, dala paglupot, mga bitok, aritis kag fungal infection. May lang gid nga nakatudlo kamo sa amon sa mga amo sini. Basta ugalion namon nga permi kami mahugas mga kamot para malikuan kag syempre ang pagtinlo gid mayo sa amon kalawasan. Goal net.
Recommendations. The family members must involved in this study must take into consideration the following recommendations for health promotion and disease prevention. Follow proper personal hygiene at all times. Use different drinking glasses to prevent cross-contamination or the spread of bacteria or virus, especially when one family member is sick. Ensure that nails are hammered firmly and wirings are properly secured to prevent accidents.
Avoid going around barefoot by wearing footwear to prevent injuries. Drinking plenty of water and reduce alcohol consumption. Observe proper nutrition by eating more often of vegetables and rice. Lessen intake of junk food. Engage in physical activities each day for at least 30 minutes to an hour. Maintain cleanliness around the house and properly dispose all garbage to prevent pest infestation. Thank you all for lending your ears today. God bless us all.
Okay, thank you, Group 1. We will now proceed to Group. What is the next group, Gane?
Group 2, Miss.
Group 2, okay. We will have all the questions later on and all the corrections, okay? Thank you.
Good morning, classmates, and good morning, dear CIs. We are the Group 2 of BSN2A, and this is our family case presentation. Introduction. Community health nursing is the utilization of the nursing process in the different levels of clientele, be it individuals, families, population groups, and communities. This program is concerned with the promotion of health, prevention of disease and disability, and rehabilitation. This program enhances the student nurses' skills in the technical and interpersonal level through hands-on experience with the assigned clients and the assigned community as well. Our case study prioritized nutrient deficiency focused on Mr. Tomas and his family of Zone 2, Hacienda Carmen, Barangay Granada, Bacolod City. The people in the community have their own means and ways of living and providing for their families. Community health nurses offers health education to the community members and encourages the empowerment of each family to build a strong foundation for the maintenance of health in the community. The goal of community health nurses is to promote, protect, and preserve the health of the public, namely each individual and family unit itself.
For the objectives, first we have the nurse-centered objectives. General objectives. After 2 weeks of nurse-client interaction, the student nurses will be able to first associate the knowledge and skills learned in assessing each of the family members' health and in prioritizing the health problems of the family for health promotion and disease prevention. Second, provide nursing care and interventions in accordance with the prioritized health problem inclined from the thorough observation and consistent assessment promoting health and wellness. And last, apply the nurse care process through implementation of the family care plan. Next. For specific objectives, after 3 days of nurse-client interaction, the student nurse will be able to, first, conduct a comprehensive interview conforming to the worksheet C and complete assessment of each family member's and household environment. Second, collect significant details to be utilized in the process of formulating the nursing family care plan. Next, determine health problems grounded from the concerns of the family coping index, and concrete observations in the household. Then perform a health teaching appropriate to the identified health problems using visual aids like brochures and posters. And lastly, examine the results of the family care plan through observing changes in the family's health practices and physical conditions. Next are the client-centered objectives. For general objectives, after 1 week of nurse-client interaction, the client will be able to first, convey significant data and information through appropriately responding to the questions asked during the interview. Second, exhibit expected outcomes from formulated nursing interventions implemented for the resolution of family health problems. And lastly, apply a family centered approach and health based practices in order to intervene the identified health concern. Next, for specific objectives, after 3 days of nurse client interaction, the client will be able to first provide essential information asked by the student nurses and communicate personal and family concerns regarding health. Second, recognize current home environment and health practices that causes health concerns in the household. And lastly, participate in health teaching and regarding identified health problems and apply learned knowledge to eliminate health concerns and prevent further development of health complications.
For the narrative report, family structure and characteristics. The family resides in Zone 2, Hacienda Carmen, Barangay Granada in Bacolod City. During the visit, the family is seen working together in order to meet their needs. The family consists of a total of 6 members. Mr. Tomas, 26 years of age, together with his wife Maricel of the same age, and their 4 children, Ram, male, 10 years old, Marie, female, 8 years old, Roland, male, 5 years old, and Mia, female, 2 years old. Maricel and Tomas have been residents of the community since both of their parents have also started their families here. Maricel and Tomas have decided to stay in their community as they build their own family. The family is a nuclear type of family as it stems from marriage and family decisions are both shared by Mr. Tomas and Maricel. The family type is patrilineal as the family uses the family name of Mr. Tomas. Overall, the family is generally peaceful and united with each member being in good terms with each other.
For the socioeconomic and cultural factors, the family of Mr. Tomas is one of the low-income families as they experience scarcity in resources as evidenced by the lack of toilet facilities and inadequate supply of food and essential nutrients. Mr. Tomas, as the head of the family, sells kakalins in the morning and peanuts and balut in the afternoon. $6,000 to 12,000 pesos per month. His wife, Marisol, sells grants from the 40th program which aids their children's education. The family allocates most of their income to their food and drinking water. In terms of educational attainments, Mrs. Maricel finished her education up until the first year of college, while Mr. Tomas finished his high school education. Ram, their eldest child, is enrolled in the fourth grade. They believe and practice traditional medicine such as pilots and loya, and sometimes use herbal medicines to treat coughs and colds. Mr. Tomas also stated that they have a harmonious relationship within their neighborhood as they abide by all the rules and regulations imposed in their community. The family is also united and practices cooperation within.
Environmental factors. The family's house is made of woods, bamboos, cogon, and tarpaulins and is found in a congested type of neighborhood. They do not have their own toilet and usually shares with Tomas' mother residents. They do not have a refrigerator to store food, so they buy food on a daily basis. Their source of drinking water is purchased gallon of purified water, bomba for their household needs, and they cook food through chopped woods. Their garbage is stored in plastic bags and is collected once a week. The community has a small chapel, daycare center, and basketball and baseball field for recreational events. There are 2 local national high schools and they have 5 means of public transportation. The family goes to the barangay health center when a family member gets sick. They avail services such as immunizations, prenatal checkups, free medications, family planning, etc. They also engage in traditional medicine like herbolarios, manughilot, and manugloya. The family lives in a peaceful community where they stick to all the rules. When conflicts arise, they resolve it with the help of encargados. Generally, Barangay Granada is a peaceful and safe community.
For the health assessment of each member, the family has no present illness, but the children oftentimes experience coughs and colds due to the bad weather and stomach ache and diarrhea. The meals of the family usually consist of dried fish, sardines, noodles, and laswa, since these are the food that suits their budget.
However, it was also expressed by Mrs. Maricel that the children are fond of eating junk food. The family is able to eat 3 meals a day. However, it is suspected that their intake is not nutritionally adequate. During the home visit, the student nurses have noticed that the children are small in stature for their age. Therefore, the BMI was collected and calculated. In the calculation of their BMI, the student nurses found that all four children were underweight based on the results, which all fell below the fifth percentile.
Values placed on prevention of diseases. Tomas and Maricel are not fully immunized due to the unavailability of immunization programs in the past. Ram, Marie, Roland, and Mia are fully immunized, conforming to the immunization record according to the Department of Health, and all of them were breastfed. The family usually sleeps around 9 in the evening, and the parents wake up around 5 in the morning to prepare for the day's work. The children wake up around 6 in the morning to prepare for going to school. Maricel and Tomas' form of exercise is their livelihood, as these require physical movement of their body. Their children walk to school and consider it as their form of exercise, as well as playing with their friends after school. They don't have a television nor a cell phone. However, they watch television from their neighborhood, which to them is somehow a stress reliever as well as relaxation.
For the problems according to priority, the prioritized problem is nutrition deficit. This is scaled using the four rubrics for scaling. First, the nature of the problem is a health threat. Nutrition deficit is a health threat because having insufficient amount of nutrients in the body could cause a slow immune response, which also increases the risk of getting infections and diseases, as well as lengthening the time of recovery. It also can cause higher risk of hypothermia from having less muscle and fat tissue mass. Modifiability of the problem, it is partially modifiable due to the constricted financial resources that the family has in hand, as well as their knowledge in preparing a proper meal for the family. Through proper education and interventions, it is possible to eliminate the problem.
So, nutrition deficits preventive potential is high since nutrition deficit can be prevented through proper maintenance and adaptation of recommended proper diet that would meet the daily requirements of the body. Nutrition deficit is a serious problem needing immediate attention since nutrition deficit entails diseases, disorders, and infection caused by poor mental and physical developmental growth, leading to long-term health conditions. These include micronutrient deficiency, including but not limited to vitamin D, vitamin C, vitamin B1, protein energy, iron, iodine, etc.
Now we are presenting our family care plan. And the data cues, as the client verbalized that their budget only suits for dried fish, noodles, and sardines. Their children mostly ate junk foods. The client also complains that their children roam around barefooted. As the student nurses assess, the findings are the following: pale and dry skin, pale conjunctiva and mucous membranes, poor muscle tone, and T body build. The BMI of the children as calculated with height and weight, which states that their weight status is underweight. As the family has a good support system, they are also intact despite tribulations and difficulties, which still maintains open communications and spends quality time together every Sunday. On the other hand, the weaknesses of the family are limited: financial resources, poor food choices, poor environmental sanitation and hygiene. The health problem of the family is imbalanced nutrition. It is less than body requirements associated with insufficient dietary intake, as evidenced by BMI, poor muscle tone, under ideal body weight, pale conjunctiva and mucous membranes, and decreased subcutaneous fat and muscle mass. The family nursing problem is inability to recognize the presence of malnutrition due to lack of knowledge as to each of the family members' general health conditions, lack of awareness regarding the urgency or salience of the problem, and lastly, inadequate financial resources to sustain health and development. So the first goal for the 2 weeks of nursing interventions is for the client to emphasize the importance of a proper and balanced nutrition. The following objective is for the client to explain the importance of taking in proper and balanced nutrients in order to fuel the body's activities and needs. The nursing interventions that were implemented was to assess the degree of awareness of the family in regards to their existing health problem, which is malnutrition as a health threat. The other nursing intervention that was implemented was to educate every family member regarding the proper nutrition and importance of well-balanced nutritious intake. The client was able to verbalize, naka-intindi nako, nga importante gid ang nutrisyon sa lawas labi na gid sa akon nga mga kabataan. Goal met. The second goal for this family care plan is for the client to exhibit reduction of signs and symptoms concerning malnutrition. The following objective is for the client to engage in beneficial activities and exercises to reduce signs and symptoms. The nursing interventions that were implemented was to discuss the implications of signs and symptoms of malnutrition and its possible consequence if left untreated. And the other one is to demonstrate oral care, proper hygiene, and food sanitation and safety. For the evaluation, the client was able to verbalize na gatsunilas na akong mga bata kung maghampang sila sa gwa. Kagkabalon ako nga mas malatnan kami sa mga kagkabalon nako nga mas malatnan kami sa mga sakit kung pabayaan namon lawas. The third goal for the client the third goal for this family care plan is for the client to recognize the factors that has an impact on the family's ability to obtain proper nutrition and diet. The following objective is for the client to determine the impact of current lifestyle and finances on the ability to obtain nutritious food. The nursing interventions that were implemented was to facilitate client in identifying resources that would assist their needs such as budget counseling, community programs, and other assistive programs. The evaluation is that the client was able to meet this goal. The fourth goal for this family care plan is for the client to change incorrect health habits and lifestyles to alleviate current health condition. The following objective is for the client to demonstrate lifestyle changes to regain and or maintain appropriate weight. The nursing interventions that were implemented was to assist the client or family in identifying eating patterns to be modified and to develop the family skills on proper food selection and preparation of food within budget. The last goal for this family care plan is for the client to gain at least 2 pounds or 1 kilogram a week of weight with the implementation of formulated high calorie and protein meal plan. The following objective is to demonstrate progressive weight gain towards a 2 pounds or 1 kilogram per week goal. The following nursing interventions that were implemented was to formulate and implement a high calorie and protein meal plan in collaboration with a dietitian. The second one is to keep a food diary to record daily calorie intake, times, and patterns of eating, and realistic weight gain and maintenance of goals. The client was able to verbalize na kung magkaon, dapat na nasang nakakaon na kami sang insakto kag tarong na pagkaon na di parahan ko nga ang mga lawas namon na unod-unuran na kag mas baskog na para mahimo namon ang amon nga mga ulobrahon. Goal map.
So for the recommendation, having nutrient deficiency as a top prioritized problem, the family should be able to apply these recommendations that will set as an intervention in order to modify eating patterns and alleviate nutrient deficiency, which is evident in the family. So the first recommendation would be observe balance and proper nutrition through increasing carbohydrate intake, protein intake, and fluid intake. Second is practice proper sanitation and good oral hygiene, physically and environmentally, through taking a bath, taking care of oneself, and of course maintaining a clean environment. Third is develop a good eating habit. Fourth is observe the attitude toward eating and food because sometimes most children tend to forget to eat, especially when they are playing. Fifth is monitor the health status as possible to determine if there are changes or improvements through checking the vital signs and weight status of each family member monthly. Sixth is monitor the environment in which eating occurs.
Seventh is provide companionship during mealtime to increase nutritional intake. And lastly, promote adequate rest and improve the ability or the desire to eat. So this is the last slide for our presentation. But before we end, we would like to wish you strength and courage to face whatever is ahead. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Group 2, uh, for your presentation. We will be, can you now proceed to Group
Four.
4?
Ay,
Group
group 3,
3.
sorry.
Group 3. Group
Group
3.
3, the fourth presenter, sorry.
Sige. We will have all the questions and corrections later on. Thank you.
Okay. Group 3, go ahead.
For a while, everyone.
So what's next?
Wait lang din Miss Kay ma-screen share pa Miss si
Ah,
Jessica.
okay. Thank you.
So let's start.
For a while, we still have problems sharing our screen in regard to PPT.
Look. Didn't you forget that we have to film in Bago in a few minutes?
Ay, sorry Ping, bago lang ko bugtaw.
Ha?
Tood, I'm so lost.
For our performance test at school, we're supposed to make a documentary about what the community health student nurses are doing.
Ay, tuod, galing lipat ko. Sige. Okay, just let me change, okay?
Okay.
Okay, let's go.
All right.
Tapos na ko.
Okay, let's go. 30 minutes later. Okay, guys. So currently we are in Zone 2, Hacienda Carmen, Barangay Granada, Bacolod City. We had to cross a steel bridge though, right, Luke?
Oo. Ara sa fo, may student nurse yung galabay, gakapyot balde.
Okay, let's call him. Psst. Hi, student nurse. What's your name?
Oh, hey, it's Denzel. May I help you guys?
Manguta siya bisof kung ano ang community health nursing.
Oo ah. Hi, Denzel. I'm Sophia, and this is my cameraman, Luke, and we're making a short documentary about what student nurses do in the community. Is it okay if we can interview you for a moment?
Okay, that will be fine.
So, what is community health nursing?
Oh, community health nursing is defined as a synthesis of nursing and public health practice. Can I bring two friends to also define CHN?
Sure.
Hey, Julia, Jerome, what's CHN doing aside from it being a public health practice?
It's an avenue for nurses to serve different levels of clientele in the community.
It adds to our experience as student nurses to develop the skills needed to provide the quality of care our clients need.
Yeah, that's it, guys.
Oh, thank you.
Ano na ho? Dami ginabuligan sila nga pamilya, how?
Oh yeah, each student nurse has a family assigned.
Interview na to sila blasaf ho.
Okay. Thanks, Denzel. And guys, ikaw naman bimangkot. Look na huya na ko.
Sige ako bala. Hey you! Can we interview you?
Yes.
What's your family?
Oh, we're the assigned student nurses of Linda Perez.
Oh, so who's Linda?
Oh, she's the mother of the family that we are in charge of.
Can you tell us more about the family in the community?
Sure. Linda is currently 6 months pregnant with her fourth child. She is married to a delivery truck driver and has currently 3 children. Right, Chin Chin?
Yes, we're currently gathering more data about them. But we were alarmed that Linda didn't get any prenatal services, even though she's currently pregnant.
Ah, hi. Teka mo do'y abala Soft, mangkot naman talain be.
Tungkol sa imo, Look. Ara ho, may galabay naman nga sa the nurse.
Oh, hello. Student nurse, pwede ka pa interview?
Okay, what's the question?
What's like your responsibility in CHN?
It's to address the family's priority problem, and can I ask someone for this? I forgot the other one.
Sure.
Anime, come here. What's our responsibilities as a nurse in CHN?
This is.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Okay, thank you guys. Dumangihi, nagid ko pe. Layas na taguro
Hindi lakad na ta. 30 minutes back home. Look! Oh my God.
Ha? Ano?
I forgot to ask what a community is.
Ay, hala. Sino pwede pa manguton ta? For sure, wala na yung mga student nurses.
But gani, may kilala ka da?
Gusto mo, ma-video call na lang ta sa tita ko? Community health nurse gid siya, gaobra sa Lasal.
Bitaw gud siya.
Tita Anton? Tita Anton, maas kami tani.
Yes, children?
Mapamangkot kami tani, what's a community?
A community is a group of people in a specific location.
What is it like?
So it includes places where people live, work, and go to school as well.
Okay. Okay, sige. Thank you, tita. Amo lang na, tita. Thank you. Good for answering. Good luck in your duty, ha?
Thank you. No problem.
And that is our documentary.
Let us now proceed with the objectives.
Thank you, Pia and Luke, for that very informative documentary. So proceeding to the objectives, the objective is divided into two, which is nurse-centered objectives and client-centered objectives. Under general objectives of the nurse-centered, after 2 weeks of nurse-client interaction, the student nurse will be able to gather all the necessary data through thorough assessment, analyze the gathered data, provide appropriate actions or interventions to address the priority problem. Under specific objectives would be, after 30 minutes of nurse-client interaction, the student nurse will be able to identify three health problems, identify the priority problem of the family, evaluate the performance of each family member through the Family Coping Index, assess the family's health status, and implement the proper and appropriate health teachings to the family related to the identified priority problem.
Now for the client-centered objectives, our general objectives would be that after 2 weeks of nurse-client interaction, the client will be able to utilize community resources for healthcare related to prenatal and to attain knowledge on how to properly care for a sick member. For our specific objectives, after 3 to 4 days of nurse-client interaction, the client will be able to verbalize concerns with the student nurse, identify at least two community health services that are available and free, and participate with the nursing interventions prepared by the student nurse. Next, please.
Narrative report about the family structure and characteristics. The case presented a nuclear family living in Zone 2, Hacienda Carmen, Barangay Granada, Bacolod City. Linda Perez, a 25-year-old mother and pregnant to Nestor Perez, who is a 27-year-old father of three children, namely James, who is 5 years old and a preschool student at the barangay's daycare center, and Jamie, who is 3 years old, and Jason, who is 1 year and 8 months old, being breastfed by Linda. Linda is also pregnant with her fourth baby. The members of the family are close to the head, Nestor, since Nestor is the head and the person who acts as the decision maker for the family, since he is the only one who has an active job and is the breadwinner of the family. Next, please.
Next is the socioeconomic and cultural factors. Regarding the income and expenses of the family, they earn about 6,000 to 7,000 per month, and their expenses would reach 4,000 for food, electricity, and other necessities. Nestor Perez is a high school graduate and he works as a delivery truck driver in San Miguel Corporation. And Linda Perez is a grade school graduate, and she works as a laborer in a sugarcane field, but she stopped due to pregnancy. Next, please.
Community. The terrain going into the community is a mixture of rough road and scattered cemented pavement. A steel bridge would have to be crossed before you can reach Zone 2. Types of transportation: local jeepney, tricycles, and private motorcycles. Barangay health center, fire station, small chapel, basketball court, and baseball field are available. House. Small house with a small backyard where Linda grows some vegetable and herbal plants. Land belongs to the employer, but family is allowed to live in the community for free. They have poor flush type toilet, communal pit, open canal where water from the kitchen flows. Next, please. Housing materials are predominantly concrete materials. The rooms have first and second room. Source of water. Their drinking water is purified water purchased in the community. And for their household chores is deep well. Storage of food and water. They use covered containers, but they still have pests such as flies, mosquitoes, cockroaches, rats, and ants. They have a house pet, which is a dog. Next, please.
So for the health assessment of each other, Linda Perez, she is 6 months pregnant with her fourth child, no prenatal services received, wants to sit more than walk, and she experiences cough, fever, diarrhea, and she experiences these occasionally. For Nestor, her husband, he smokes two sticks to two packs of cigarettes a day. He has chapped lips, alert and fully conscious, and does not manifest any medical condition. For their children, James Perez, he is 40 inches tall and he weighs 5.7 pounds. For their second child, Jaime Perez, his height is 33 inches, weighs 32 pounds. He is asthmatic, according to his family, although completely diagnosed by the doctor. And for the third child, Jason Perez, his height is 29 inches, he weighs 26.57 pounds, and he is a picky eater. For the nutritional assessment, the family's meals include rice and viand, which can be fish, meat, or vegetables, and vegetable soup. They, they all have no allergies to any certain food. They are able to eat 3 times a day, but most of the time there are no snacks in between meals. And they practice washing their hands and praying before meals. Next,
The next
please.
is value placed on prevention of disease. All children were immunized. The family prefers traditional healers. A referral slip to the San Miguel Brewery Clinic. They don't wash their drinking cups and throw their paper plates in the plastic bag. The children usually sleep around 9 p.m., while the parents, Linda and Nestor, sleep at 10 p.m. Linda does her gardening work to relieve her stress, and she works every day in maintaining her house clean as her everyday exercise, while Nestor is out for most of the day working.
In our case study, we have identified the three health problems. The first health problem that we have identified is improper garbage and refuse disposal as a health threat. The second health problem that we have identified is excessive smoking as a health threat. And among the three problems, we have identified the priority problem, which is the pregnancy of 6 months with fourth child as a foreseeable crisis situation. Next, please. The nature of the priority problem is a foreseeable crisis. It anticipates periods of unusual demand on the individual or family in terms of adjustments or family resources.
The modifiability of the problem is easily modifiable. It is easily modifiable through adequate knowledge on prenatal care as well as the knowledge of various services catering to the mother's needs. The prevention potential is high. The prevention potential is high by managing proper prenatal care, such as prioritizing nutrition, diet, treatment, hygiene, and exercise. The salience is that it is a serious problem and needs immediate attention. It requires immediate attention since it concerns both the lives of the mother and the child at risk. Also, both the mother and child needs all the support to have a healthy pregnancy and delivery with no adverse complications. Next, please.
So now let's talk about the family nursing care plan that we prepared for the family of Perez. So first of all, let me tackle the subjective cues that we gathered. So the client verbalized talagsa man lang ko makabenepisyo sa mga serbisyo sang amon nga sentro kay permi lang wa ay doktor. So after that, we also gathered some objective cues from our assessment and observations. So Linda is currently 6 months pregnant, obviously, with her fourth child. No prenatal services has been availed as of this time. So Jamie, who is 3 years old, who is a 3-year-old kid of Linda, he is asthmatic as claimed by the mother, but it is not diagnosed by a doctor. Also, her children experience occasional medical conditions such as cough, fever, and diarrhea, which she manages on her own since going to the doctor is quite costly for them based on their economic status. So we also observed that the husband smokes regularly. He actually consumes nearly 2 packs of cigarettes per day. And on top of that, we observed that the husband does not manifest any medical condition and has not verbalized any discomfort. However, we also observed that the Nestor also has chapped lips. They do not segregate. Also, we observed from their behaviors that they do not segregate their garbage. They put it in a plastic bag and throw it in a communal pit. The family seek the services of a traditional healer or a manugluya in our layman's term, as they believe that symptoms such as muscle pain or kibet in our dialect can be relieved through this health behavior or health attitude. Linda gives her children over the counter medications to relieve the symptoms as what she can see in their television or hear in the radio. So um, she just self medicate her children. In the house, we observed that it's made up predominantly of concrete materials. So let me tackle about the strengths of the Perez family. The family has a good relationship with each other. And on top of that, children are up to date with their immunization record, and that's very good. But they also have weaknesses countering these strengths. So for the weaknesses, we have Linda as the wife. She is actually an elementary graduate. We deem this as a weakness because it actually affects their economic capabilities and as well as also her knowledge of some health related knowledge. As also, because of that, they lack in financial support, and also because of the lack of education, they also lack in sex education and family planning. So I'm done with the cues that we gathered from the assessment that we have. Now, Julia will tackle the health problems.
Thank you, Anton. So for the health problem, which is our priority problem, is pregnancy of 6 months with fourth child as a foreseeable crisis situation. For our family nursing problem, it is the inability to provide adequate prenatal care to a pregnant member due to inaccessibility of appropriate resources of prenatal care services, due to unavailability and cost, and failure to utilize community resources for prenatal services. For the goals of care, after 4 days of nursing interventions, the client will be able to maximize the use of appropriate community resources for prenatal care through identifying various services available and the importance of availing these services. Now, Anton is going to mention the objectives of care and the nursing interventions.
Okay, so first of all, let me tackle the objectives of care that we determined when we made the family nursing care plan. So, after 4 days of nursing interventions, the client will be able to first explain the importance of prenatal services to the mother and as well as to the family, especially to the children, to the unborn child. And second is the client will be able to identify at least three various community resources that are available that she can resort to for aid in her pregnancy. Also, explain to the mother about the appropriate diet and for the pregnant women. Next is explain to the mother the guidelines for preparations for labor. Then let me tackle the nursing interventions that we determined. Okay. First, it's discuss with the mother and the family the importance of prenatal services and its benefits to the mother and child. So this is very important because this will be the gateway for the mother to um, improve her knowledge regarding these matters that are very vital and critical in their situation. Second is discuss with the mother several alternatives for prenatal services and other services that can still cater um, to pregnant women like her. Third is we also, if you just bear with me, my PC is hanging. I cannot pull up the information. Okay, next is health teach. We taught the mother and the family about nutrition that are very vital as well in elevating the health status of the family. So, and also nutrition for pregnant women that she should follow to have a healthy pregnancy that could impact the condition of the baby and avoid birth conflicts. So, fourth is we educated or we would like to or we included the goal or the intervention of educating the mother about the preparations for labor, such as when she needs to be in contact with a doctor, as well as providing techniques for healthy labor. So that's all for the nursing interventions.
All in
Now,
all,
Julia, what did
for
we miss?
yeah, so all in all, for the evaluation, after 4 days of nursing intervention, the client was able to maximize the use of appropriate community resources for prenatal care through identifying various services available in their community and the importance of availing these services. And these are goal met. And that is all for our family nursing care plan. And let's proceed to the recommendations.
For the first health threat to the family, which is improper garbage and refuse disposal, it is highly recommended to observe environmental sanitation by cleaning the area around the house. The garbage should be thrown out daily as an accumulation of waste material. For the second health threat to the family, which is excessive smoking, the father is advised to stop smoking gradually. For the third problem of the family, namely the pregnancy of 6 months with the fourth child, the mother is advised to consider family planning such as the use of birth control, to avail a doctor who can address her future concerns anytime, and to familiarize community resources.
And that ends our presentation.
Okay, thank you, Group 3. Group 3, sorry, Section 8, can we have a 30 minutes break? Uh, your CIs will talk over the corrections so that isa lang yun ang tanan mo na corrections. We will be back by after 30 minutes, okay? The same link ninyo. Just have your breakfast, then
Or
after 30 minutes,
or maybe 9:45.
9:45,
Yes.
go back ka. We
9:45.
will try to consolidate all the corrections, Anay. Okay?
Okay, Miss.
Okay, thank you. Miss Elephant,
Yeah.
Maria, and
Yes, I'm
Manang
here.
Yeah,
Yes, I'm here.
listen.